For parents to understand this, oversharing is when you share sort of too much information, but it's much more complicated in 2017. So a typical teenager has to assess exactly who and what they're going to share with. So you have to think about who you're going to share, what you're going to share on Instagram, what you're going to share on Snapchat, but not your Instagram, what you might share on Facebook with your grandparents and your parents, what you might share on a text. I mean, there's multi-layers of sharing these days. And it's actually very complicated and nuanced. And this is one place where parents really need to be involved with helping kids to understand what's appropriate to share and when it's appropriate to share. To be fair, what I might think is oversharing isn't necessarily what a 12-year-old or 16-year-old or 20-year-old is oversharing. Because in this day and age, we really do put a lot, I think young people put a lot more out there than older people do. So to be clear, it's not always cut and dry what is oversharing. The concern about oversharing is kids that overshare online tend to be the ones that get the most negative feedback online. They're the ones most at risk to be bullied or to become more alienated online. There's sort of a rule of thumb in the research on social media, and that is that the rich get richer, which means that kids with good social skills and positive self-esteem go on social media, and it's fabulous. They curate their ideal self, they connect, they make plans, and it's really this incredible addition to their lives. However, on the flip side, kids that are more vulnerable, that have weaker social skills, are more likely to go online and to overshare, to seek a lot of excessive reassurance online. And subsequently, they're the ones that will be cyberbullied or alienated, and their self-confidence actually drops as a result of social media. So it's critical to understand your own children and understand who is vulnerable. If you have a child that you think is particularly vulnerable, perhaps they're impulsive, perhaps they're anxious about the way they're presenting themselves, or socially anxious, right? Then those are the kids that you just want to be more vigilant. It doesn't mean that you should take them off social media. Today, most kids need social media. Most kids have a digital footprint. Most kids use it to connect. So if you have a vulnerable child or teenager, what I recommend is that the families are really involved. Maybe those are the kids that you need to be following, not only the Instagram, but you need to be seeing their Snapchat story, so that you're understanding how they're presenting themselves online. And then either you or another reasonable adult that's in their lives can give them feedback about, hey, you didn't really need to share that, or you didn't need to repost this. So the goal is not to make them feel worse. The goal is not to take their phone away. The goal is now to give them some strategies and support to be able to present themselves online in a very confident and curated and protected way.